Hey guys, back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's that time to talk more Liverpool. It is that time to talk about another potentially big story that is brewing behind the scenes. It's that time to discuss it all. And it doesn't exactly make great reading for Liverpool. It seems to be another embarrassing story that is brewing underneath the surface of what is turning out to be a pretty train wreck of a season. And this is before we even play Arsenal on Thursday. We're going to be talking about the Arsenal game as well in this live stream. But we are also talking about this seeming civil war, if you like, that is brewing underneath the surface between Arne Slot and Richard Hughes, a clash of sorts that is said to be spiraling. I can't even speak. Spiraling. Said to be spiraling underneath the surface. But before we get into all of that, big up to everybody that's here on this. There we go, a little bit better there. Big up to everybody that's here on this Tuesday afternoon. Hope we're all good. Hope we're all doing well. Smash the like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Appreciate all the love and support on the channel. Always here to talk football, of course. But, of course, talk to me just in general. Let me know where you're watching from this evening. Let me know what you're up to this evening. Let me know what is going on, people. But like I say, we are here mainly to talk football. We're here to mainly talk Liverpool, but of course, other footballing topics are still available to talk about. If you want to talk about Man United's situation, if you want to talk more about Liam Rossini being appointed the new Chelsea head coach, we could talk about that as well. Antoine Semenyo is set to go for his medical at Manchester City on Thursday. So we can talk about that if you want. But the main bulk of this story will be Liverpool based. We are talking about this so-called civil war, which is brewing underneath the surface at the club. And we are also looking ahead to Thursday's clash with Arsenal. So I hope we're doing well. Like I say, big up to each and every single one of you for being here. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's begin. Let's begin by diving straight into the article. The article came out yesterday, and it is from Anfield Watch. Somewhat reliable, somewhat legitimate, big publication. And they basically wrote an article yesterday to state that Arne Slot ignites Liverpool civil war over Richard Hughes clash. Now, the article, as we can see here, goes on to state that Arne Slot ignited a civil war in this summer over Liverpool's transfer policy. The Dutchman's job is not safe by any stretch of the imagination at Anfield. Slot may have gone 9 games unbeaten, leading to Liverpool's visit to the Emirates later this week. But performances have been poor, yada, yada, yada. More background information. Draws against the likes of Fulham, Leeds United and Sunderland have been disappointing. Even the wins have been narrow and have come through a great struggle. Slot doesn't seem to have an idea or defined system when it comes to Liverpool's attacking play. He has to steady the ship defensively, but at the cost of Liverpool's attack. Currently, he's got Liverpool playing a very basic system and has neither the backing of the fans nor probably anyone else associated with the club. Yada, 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 more background stuff. But the issues are deeper at Anfield than just performances on the pitch. Liverpool's hierarchy have a very specific idea of not only how they want the club to play, but how they want the club to be ran by the head coach. Over the summer, Hughes and his recruitment team were keen for Rio Ngamoa and Trey Nyoni to be given bigger roles at first team level following impressive performances in pre-season. Ngamoa had just 5 goal contributions in 5 games, and Nyoni had also caught the eye in previous seasons under Jurgen Klopp. The same kind of performances would have led to more first team opportunities during the regular campaign. Stefan Bajcetic Jarrell Kwanzaa, and many others have benefited from Klopp rewarding them after a strong pre-season. But Slot was not of the same mindset. He wanted Liverpool to loan Engamoa after Luis Diaz was sold and pushed the Reds to pursue a move for Bradley Barcola or Malik Fofana. During the heated clash, Anfield Watch understands that Hughes refused to give in to Slot's demands and informed the club and club's head coach that he would have to play Engamoa and give him regular opportunities in the first team. This has been a source of contention between the Liverpool hierarchy and Slot ever since. The Dutchman has neglected to use Engamoa on a regular basis, despite insistence from Hughes and others. The club's hierarchy have made it clear they expect academy players to be integrated into the first team setup. Slot insists he needs players for the now and has little interest in working with the club's academy stars, nor to try and develop them. And then they obviously go on to discuss about Jurgen Klopp, about how he would be able to do that, but Slot is different in that mindset. Says that obviously we've hired a coach to basically look after the young staff and the other coaches. Slot is not interested in working with the under-21s at all. And that is concerning. That is majorly concerning. I don't get why. I really don't get why. I mean, it obviously now it now reveals the answer as to why the likes of Rio Engamoa and Trey Nyoni have not been selected much this season. Why Cody Gakpo's been playing every single game on the left-hand side, even though there are other options than Engamoa that can play on the left. It kind of offers an inkling and an indication as to why Cody Gakpo has been playing so much on the left wing. But this is awful. This is absolutely awful. Okay, so usually in these situations, I normally back the manager. I normally back the footballing guy over the people in power because they may know the player more, they may understand football more, they may understand what they need and what they want in the here and now to obviously give their youngsters the best opportunity to progress. Usually I do back the footballing guy in these situations. Big up Aubrey's in the building. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Lovely to have you here, my friend. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Wednesday, Tuesday afternoon. So usually I do back the footballing guy, I will admit. But 9 times out of 10, that may be the case. This seems to be the 10th out of 10 time where it's not an agenda against Slot. It's not because I'm Slot out, but I'm against Slot in this situation. Mainly because it's Liverpool Football Club. And we love it when a young talent breaks through. We love it when a young upstarter manages to make a name for himself in the first team. And Rio Engamoa, there's no doubt about it. He's a quality talent. There is a lot of talent there. There's a lot of potential there. This guy, highly rated. We stole him from Chelsea's academy. Chelsea were that annoyed and that angry with us that we stole him from their academy that they banned us pretty much from obviously sending scouts to watch their academy. So automatically there, you understand and know that there is a player within him. And to be fair to him, when he has made those cameo appearances so far this season, even with the goal against Newcastle, which was the match winner, he took it very well, but he's also put in 100% every single game he's played. Guaranteed not be many minutes, but he's maximized the minutes that he's had. I've been impressed with him when he came on. Even when he came on the other day against Leeds, he may have only had about 10 minutes to play, but he did something. He took players on. He tried to work crosses into the box. He tried to pick out his men. He's always trying to do something, and I've been screaming out and crying out for Engamoa. Play him more. Give him more minutes. Give him a platform to shine. Because guess what? It doesn't matter how young he is. If he's good enough to play, he's good enough to play. Look, I'm not comparing Lamine Yamal and Ngamo when I say this, but look at Lamine Yamal. Burst onto the scene very young, has made that position in that Barcelona squad his own. The guy is in and locked in that position from here until possibly the end of his career. He is still extremely young. Look at what is happening closer to home. Look at what's happening with Chelsea and Esteval. Look at how Esteval is progressing. There are going to be games where he's not very good. He's a young kid. He's still going to make mistakes. He's still going to be a little rough around the edges. But the only way to sharpen him up, the only way to make him better, the only way he's going to get better is with experience. And how do you get experience? By playing in games. So play him in games. I don't understand this whole mentality that Arne Slot has had, in which he basically came out and said he's already played enough minutes. I'm sorry, what? He's already played enough minutes this season. Are you insane? Are you insane? Like, Cody Gakpo's been shocking throughout most of this season. Try something different. And it doesn't even have to be Ngamo either. You can put Szoboszlai on the left. You can put Wirtz on the left. You can put Ekitike on the left. You can put Chiesa. Remember, you got Federico Chiesa in your squad as well. You can play him on the left. You've got a number of options for that left wing position. But he goes with the same old story every single time. And at this moment in time, with Liverpool playing so poorly, I want to see someone who I can get excited about. I want to see someone that can get me off of my seat every time he gets the ball. And that's someone right now, other than maybe Ekitike, other than maybe Szoboszlai from time to time, is Rio Ngamoa. That is the guy that I want to see. And I want to see him more. Because I want to see him progress. I want to see him do well. I want to see him advance. I want to see this potential and promise that this man shows every time he's on the pitch. I want to see the promise and potential that this man was claimed to have when we snapped him up from Chelsea's academy. I want to see that. Slot, in my opinion, is in the wrong for this. Not playing him. You are hindering, you are halting a promising young talent because of your stubborn ways. And in a week in which we have seen 2 head coaches get sacked for having disagreements and bust-ups with their board, their hierarchy, their people in power, I kind of hope that Slot follows in the same way. He should have gone ages ago. Should have gone after Man United, in my opinion. But it's better late than never. You could potentially ruin some of these young players because of his stubborn approach. And we've said it before, by the way. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, if you're a regular viewer of this channel and you are someone who has seen these kind of videos and these kind of live streams that I've done in the past, you'll know that I have previously said Slot hates the kids. Out of context, that might seem a little weird, but Slot doesn't like the youngsters of this team. He doesn't. Jarell Quansah, opening 45 minutes in Slot's debut game in the Premier League. He hooks him at half-time. He is barely seen again for the rest of that season. Harvey Elliott. He excluded Harvey Elliott from the vast majority of games last season when he could have really made a big difference. I was excited to see what Harvey Elliott could do in this Arne Slot setup. Barely used him last season. Barely. Tyler Morton was kicked out the door as early as possible. Jarell Quansah sold last summer. Trey Agnoni barely used. Rio Ngamoa struggling to get minutes ahead of Cody Gakpo. The worst that can happen is that Rio Ngamoa comes in for Cody Gakpo and he plays at the same level as Cody Gakpo. Now, I don't think he will. I think he'll actually be better and more exciting than what Cody Gakpo is and more unpredictable, dare I say. But at the same time, in saying that, if the worst was to come to the worst, Ngamoa's performances would only be as bad as what Gakpo is playing right now. Can't get any worse. So try something different. Slot doesn't like the youngsters in this team. We saw it last season, and it has continued into this. His arrogance, his ignorance, his stubbornness is unbelievable. Unbelievable to witness and to watch unfold before our very eyes right now. It really and truly is. And when you consider that our previous manager in Jurgen Klopp trusted in them youngsters, sometimes he didn't have a choice. But he didn't throw them under the bus at all. He didn't make them to be scapegoats in any way, shape, or form. He trusted in them. He made them feel a part of the team so much. He made them feel special. He made them feel like they were incredible players. Whether it was your likes of your Nat Phillips, your Reece Williams that had to come in during that horrible season in which all our centre-backs got absolutely chopped and cropped and on the sidelines for injury. He made them better players than what they were. Whether it was them two in particular, whether it was the youngsters that came in the team here and there, whether it was wanting to play Harvey Elliott more, but given certain circumstances, you know, it was just unfortunate that for a mixture of injuries and obviously other scenarios at play, it just couldn't happen. Whether it was beating Arsenal in the FA Cup with a group of youngsters, whether it was trusting youngsters when all of our fitness issues were hitting a couple of years ago, beating the blue billionaire bottle jobs at Wembley in the Carabao Cup final. Jurgen Klopp had a squad and he was prepared to dive deep into that squad if it was required. He was prepared to go to the youth players and say, I trust in you 120%. Go out there and show the world what you can do. And they did that. They did that. This guy ignores all of that. He ignores what Klopp's built. He ignores all the youth players that have come before. The likes of Trent, even though some people won't like me mentioning him. Trent through the academy. And then, dare I say, Curtis Jones, Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher, all of those players and more. And this guy is simply turning his back on them. And according to Anfield Watch, like I say, he couldn't care less about them. He's not even turning up to integrating sessions with the first team with them. He's not bothered. He's more bothered about going to Dubai and partying it up there and Ibiza and wherever else. He couldn't care less. He couldn't care less about the future of this. His idea is We need to spend money. We need to spend money. We need to spend money. You've had 450 million and you can't make anyone in that squad play well. Barring one or two players, you can't make them play well. You can't make them be a well-oiled machine. And you've had 450 odd million pounds thrown at this team. And your answer to that is, we need to spend more money. We need to go for a Bradley Barcola. I'm sorry, but getting Barcola out of PSG is going to be extremely difficult. I would love Barcola to come to Liverpool, but I know it's unrealistic. Your approach to just throwing money at it is not going to work because you can't do your job. We are playing some of the worst football I have ever seen. We are playing some of the most underwhelming, boring, pedestrian side-to-side football I have ever seen, not just from a Liverpool team, but from any other team in general. And you're wanting more money thrown at this team. Don't get me wrong. I think we need to buy players. We do. We need to obviously strengthen our depth in centre back. We need to strengthen up in midfield. But the wing position is somewhere where we can maybe look at if the right player becomes available. But use what you've got. You're currently playing Szoboszlai on the right wing when he's not a natural right winger. It doesn't make any sense. You're using Cody Gakpo every week, despite the fact he's putting in stinker after stinker after stinker, when you've got a number of options that can go on that left-hand side. Use what you've got. Do better. Get the best out of your team. Klopp could do it. You're struggling to, mate. You are really, really struggling to. But your answer is to throw money, more money at the situation. And it just don't fly with me. It really does not fly. Big up Ballum is in the building. Made myself a cup of tea. Fair play to you, my bro. Fair. Big up to you, my dude. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday afternoon. He likes Calvin Ramsey, playing him out of nowhere in the League Cup. The youngster. This is what he does, bro. He throws them under the bus. He puts these youngsters. This is what like Jose Mourinho used to do. And I'm finding more and more managers are starting to randomly do this. They throw them on as a last resort. They either throw them on as a last resort and they go, see, not good enough. Or they throw them on as a last resort as like, you're my last hope to save my job kind of thing. But in these kind of situations, it's like, right, well, I'm kind of out of options. Let's throw them on. And then when or if they play poorly, they turn around and they go, this is the reason why I wasn't playing him, because he's not good enough. Well, I'm sorry, but you're throwing him on a pitch in which we are playing poorly. Our established and experienced players are not playing very well. Of course, they're not going to play that well. Some of them might be head and shoulders above the rest, but some of the time it's just a case of they're not good enough. Or it's just a case of the rest of the team isn't good enough. I remember the 1-0 at home in the FA Cup against Shrewsbury Town. Klopp and so did not attend this. I did not watch either. Did you watch that? Wasn't there a reason why Klopp didn't attend, though? I feel like there was a reason, but I can't remember what the reason was. Was that COVID season? I can't remember what it was. I don't remember. If you can remind me, that'd be great. I don't remember. I do remember a game like that, but I don't remember what exactly was the reason. What do you think will happen with Harvey Elliott now, as you briefly mentioned this? He's going to be sold at some point, but I don't know to who, but I think he'll be a good pickup for anybody in the Premier League right now. I really do. I really do think he'll be a good pickup for anybody in the Premier League. And I think it will do Harvey Elliott the world of good to get out of Liverpool and playing some first team football. I think it will do him the world of good. And I think he will be a very, very good addition to whichever side picks him up. And I can't blame him. I can't fault him because he deserves better than being on the bench every week or being in the reserves every week. Just because this bald-headed fraud can't manage his team properly. Simple as that. Good mention of Liverpool Academy winning the League Cup final. Fair play. I call Shrewsbury Town Strawberry. Eden Hazard called them this before. They got Eden Hazard, even though, dare I say, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Why are you wearing a t-shirt? Why are you wearing a t-shirt? Snowing in places in England and UK, such as Scotland. Are you not cold? No, bro. It's kind of like a long sleeve t-shirt anyway, so it's kind of a bit thick. It's a bit thicker, and I just rolled the sleeves up. So, yeah, I'm good. It's quite warm in here actually. I think Mrs. had the heating on, so yeah, we're all good. PSG players won't join Liverpool. Paris have money and they win trophies there. It's not impossible to get them out. It's just difficult. It's not impossible, but it's just difficult. And the longer that we play like we are playing right now, and let's just say there is a possibility we don't make Champions League, they're definitely not going to come then, are they? So again, it's a missed opportunity for us because we decided to stick with a manager who's got no idea what he's doing. Mark Gay has been linked with Manchester City recently. Yeah, I mean, understandable when their players are dropping like flies, especially defensively. But that again shows you the difference between Man City and Liverpool. When Liverpool had these centre-back issues, we just sat on our hands going, hope it doesn't get any worse. Man City have been more proactive in terms of, right, we've got a couple out, it's probably looking a bit bad. We probably should react now rather than react when it's too late. And that's when you end up signing the likes of Ozan Kabak and friggin' Ben Davies. If you're not going to act like Man City are right now. Liverpool need Mark Gahey in. Look, kind of a follow-on from what I was saying earlier about this whole youngsters thing. I'd like us to make signings in the January transfer window. Of course, it makes it exciting. It makes it interesting. But I don't think anybody who comes in this January is going to help turn this team around, because no matter who or what we bring in, it's going to be playing under this manager with this boring football, with this bland pedestrian style approach. It's not going to be interesting. It's not going to be fun. They're going to fall into this bed of mediocrity and underwhelming, uninspired performances. There is not really any point in buying a new player to play in this squad as long as Arne Slot insists on playing this boring brand of football. If we were to, in the next few games, which is going to be unlikely, play some entertaining football, some fast and furious type of football. You know, it's going to be electric. It's going to be zipping, and it's going to be like pinball at times, and it's going to be really fun to watch and easy on the eye. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. But I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. And I don't see it happening. So there's no point. Glad you're well, my bro. I'm good too, my man. I'm good too. Not looking forward to the game on Thursday, though. You're my last hope. Marcus Rashford vibes when he scored 2 against Arsenal. I was thinking more Princess Leia and hope and help me Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. I was thinking along them lines, but yeah, I get you. Strawberry Cup match was when Liverpool had a winter break and somehow had this cup match replay 2019 or something, and then was that the reason why? Was that the reason why? Well, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot by obviously not managing to do the job the first time around. So, yeah. I couldn't remember the reason why. I know obviously we threw a game against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup, but that was because for whatever reason they decided to have us play 2 different games in 2 days in 2 different continents, which was absolutely stupid beyond belief. But apparently they couldn't change it or they couldn't move the fixtures around any other way. So, yeah. I remember that one. I couldn't remember the reason for the Shrewsbury one, but yeah, fair enough. Happened in England for a brief spell. Pep and Klopp were happy of this. Hope this makes sense. Yeah, they obviously came from leagues where they have winter breaks and stuff, so it's understandable as to why. Ben Davis was strange. Never played in the end. Sold for a profit. Yeah, I don't understand the reason for that, to be honest. Never played a game or a proper professional game for Liverpool, but still managed to sell for whatever he sold for. I don't even remember. James Pierce says through one of them, Liverpool transfer accounts, Liverpool won't spend money in a quiet window this month. Which says to me, either the club are telling Slot to do this is the thing. It matches up with obviously this story that's come out now, because the club are basically telling him you've got to do you've got to make the most of what you've got, which goes back to the whole kind of Liverpool, and it kind of goes back to the whole kind of Liverpool transfer window policy of we'll only go in if an opportunity becomes available. So, yeah, we should have enjoyed that summer of just a massive spending spree whilst we were in it. So we're going back to the old Liverpool model of transfer windows. Just enjoy it while it lasted. And it also basically kind of coincides with this story of the club want the manager to do the best that he can with the squad he has available, including the youngsters. And Slot's turned around to him and gone, I need more money spent. I need more players. I need more money spent on this team. How about you try and get the team that you have right now playing some good football before you go adding more players into it? Is that too difficult to ask? Because your style doesn't work. We've said the same things all season long. The style don't work. Nothing works. Nothing works in this team. There is only 2 things a game that work, and it's normally 2 individual players. And it's usually Ekatike being one of them, or Soboslai. Maybe both. That's the only 2 things that pretty much have worked throughout the majority of this season. Everything else doesn't work. Passing the ball around at the back so that possession goes to like 60-70%. Conceding set pieces. Conceding goals from those set pieces, and then turning around and going, I've got no idea what to do. I'm only the head coach after all. It's a madness. It's an absolute madness and a joke. We're an embarrassment. And yeah, it's very cold, snowing everywhere. Yeah. It's winter is definitely here. Let's put it that way. Erik ten Hag being posted by Fabrizio. Erik ten Hag was with Bayer Leverkusen at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I've just seen it. He's at FC Twente, isn't he, right now, as their sporting director. Yeah, that is one. Yeah, I get what you meant, bro. I got what you meant. Salah made AFCON progress and did score yesterday. Yeah, he's got 3 goals in this tournament in 3 games. So fair play to Mohamed Salah. I did have I've not really kept. I've only kept up with the results of AFCON. I don't know about performances, so you'll have to forgive me. But maybe as the competition gets down to the really good bit, I might have to just cast my eye over it a little bit more than what I have been doing, admittedly. So big up Egypt and big up Mo Salah. Hopefully there is an AFCON trophy at the end of it for the Egyptian king. Are you watching Jamie Carragher? Salah scored for Egypt and made some progress. No idea who they will play next. Morocco are the favourites for this. Egypt are second favourites. Fingers crossed for Egypt, man. Fingers crossed for Egypt. I would absolutely love and adore it if Mohamed Salah could win AFCON and then he could really rub it in Jamie Carragher's face. And then we could see Jamie Carragher backtrack again, in which he calls AFCON not a major tournament. And exploit the absolute hypocrite and stupidity of Jamie Carragher. Big up Tony is in the building. Lovely to have you here, my friend. He says, I don't see the board giving Slot any more players and buying out and laying out big dosh. I can't see that for a second. I don't know why. Plus, do the board see Slot at the club next season? I mean, that could be a possibility as well. Maybe, contract negotiations with Slot have stalled. They've seemingly stopped the money, unless, of course, there is a good opportunity to go in for a player. It does seem like it's going to be a case of Slot's going to be here to the end of the season. And it does seem like it's going to be a case of Slot's going to have to make do with what he's got. If he can do it and if he can achieve seemingly this lowered expectation, that is obtain Champions League football, maybe go on an FA Cup run, see how far you get in the Champions League, which I'm not saying is the expectation. It shouldn't be the expectation. It should be to win the damn things, especially after the summer that we had. And obviously going into the season as Premier League champions, it should be hell of a lot higher. It does seem like this January is basically turning around to him and saying, look, we gave you everything that we could in the summer. All right. They could have got a centre-back. They could have done a bit more in terms of obviously getting Gahey in earlier. But we gave you pretty much everything you could want in the summer and more. We've given you more in one summer window than we've given any other manager previously in the history that they've been owners of this amazing football club. You need to go and you need to go and be successful this season with the players you have, with the youngsters and the youth that you have. If not, you're gone. Again, he should have been gone a lot earlier. I'm still on the Slot out thing. He should have been gone a lot earlier. And I tell you what, I'm going to be absolutely fuming if we get absolutely slapped up by Arsenal. Even though it's to be expected, I'm still going to be angry if we get slapped up by Arsenal. Because he's still here. And then this doesn't just become an Arne Slot issue. It becomes a club issue of being defiant, of being stubborn in their own ways about not being wrong about this manager. And technically, they weren't wrong about the manager because he has delivered a Premier League title. So, in that regard, they're not wrong. They're just wrong about him being a long-term manager. But that still isn't like you were completely wrong. He delivered us something that we weren't expecting last season. It doesn't make any sense to me, bro. It really doesn't make any sense to me. Hope you're doing well anyway, my bro. Lovely to have you here with us. Egypt have Ivory Coast. Morocco have Cameroon. Good matches on paper. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll probably have to... What day is the Egypt game, by the way? What day is the Egypt game? Let's have a look, shall we? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Amazing for you all to be here with me on this Tuesday afternoon. Appreciate your love and support. Saturday, 7 o'clock. Saturday, 7 o'clock. Interesting. Yeah, Saturday, 7 o'clock is the quarter-final stages of AFCON. So, interesting stuff there. And then it'll probably be a week later, the final, I would imagine. Hopefully, Mo Salah will be making that final. Would be amazing if he did. But yeah, I'm annoyed by this article. I don't know about all of you guys. Obviously, hit up the chat with what you think about this article. But this, I read this, and it really, really did annoy me because it's basically confirmed the fear that I've had since last season, which was that Slot doesn't trust in the youth. He's not giving them opportunities. He's not giving them chances. Like I say, he hooked Kwanzaa out the team at the first opportunity that he could. He did the same with Tyler Morton. He did the same with Harvey Elliott. He's absolutely wiped out the youth. And then, of course, this season, he's seemingly moved on to people of a higher standing and higher position, which is why the likes of Salah, for example, have seemingly been frustrated with the way the club is being run, and obviously frustrated with the manager as well. And maybe, obviously, we're only getting bits of the story. If you start piecing it together, maybe that Salah interview that we all said there's more than meets the eye there could be the main catalyst behind what we're seeing right now, behind why these little bits of information are being dripped out bit by bit. Don't think we've heard the last of it. It's just so embarrassing and frustrating. It really, really is. Really, really is. Egypt could get Morocco on the other side in the final. So, yeah, tough matches. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I remember a few years ago, Egypt got to the final against Senegal. And it was Mane versus Salah in the final. The two favourites for that competition that year. And, of course, Mane ended up being victorious. But incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff a few years ago. And hopefully we get a bit more of it the same this year. But hopefully it is a better outcome for Mo Salah. Problem is, Curtis Jones, for example, he's been to keep the homegrown players because of the Premier League homegrown rule. Jarrell was sold this summer too. Yeah, but Jarrell going didn't matter because obviously Frimpong came in. And Frimpong, despite being Dutch, obviously counts as being homegrown because of his time at Celtic, for example. So it didn't necessarily matter too much about the homegrown thing for Kwanzaa leaving, because obviously we were bringing Frimpong in. But then obviously we then loaned out Harvey Elliott. It just doesn't. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like I say, I just thought I've always maintained that if you are good enough, it does not matter how old you are. It really does not matter how old you are. If you're good enough, you're good enough. And that's the problem I have right now. The problem I have right now is Slot's not giving these players the opportunity to perform. And the ones he is giving opportunities to perform, he's just hanging out there to dry. Like, I go on about Gakpo a lot, but there's a certain point where I'm like, well, Gakpo's not picking the team. Unless it actually does come out that Gakpo is demanding to play every single week, otherwise he's going to release some sort of dirt or something on Arne Slot. Gakpo doesn't pick the team every week. It's Slot. So that is therefore on Slot. It's just a mad situation. It really, really is. And it's a situation that is incredibly embarrassing. Just something that needs to improve, as do a lot of things at Liverpool immediately. Just everything like that just needs to improve. It needs to get better. And I'm so disassociated with this club right now. I'm so disassociated with this club right now. It's unbelievable how I'm just not bothered. Like, I don't even know how to properly explain it. I don't even know how to properly and coherently understand or explain it. But it's like on Thursday, for example, against Arsenal, we are going to get destroyed. We are going to get absolutely destroyed by Arsenal on Thursday. If I had to put a percentage on it, I'm generally looking at it as 95% is going to be an Arsenal win, 4% is on a draw, and 1% we actually win that game. And the only way that I think we win that game is if there's a few possibilities as to how Liverpool can win the game. Number one, Arteta completely bottles it. Arteta overthinks it, does some crazy stuff, and it's just a bad day at the office all round, and Liverpool somehow, some way, managed to cheese their way to victory. Number two, massive outbreak of food poisoning or something. That means illness will wipe out the entire Arsenal team and they have to play like they're under 16s or something. That could help. Even then, I would still probably back Arsenal because we've been so bad this season that it would just be typical if that was to be the case. But we'd stand a better chance of winning than we would against their first team. And the third choice is maybe Arsenal forget to turn up on the day. You know, maybe they oversleep or something and they forget to turn up and, we win by forfeit. They're like the only ways that I can imagine Liverpool winning that game. Or even getting a draw out of that game at the very least. Like, they are going to absolutely batter us. They're going to play us off the park. I'm worried because I've sat here and talked about the games between Liverpool and Wolves, Liverpool and Leeds, Liverpool and Fulham, so on and so forth. And I've said each and every single game at some stage, at some point, in a variety of words, I've said that if the opposition team are in those games, on those days, had an extra bit of quality about them. Those draws that Liverpool picked up could have easily been losses for them. Those wins that Liverpool managed to narrowly escape through could have easily been turned into draws. If Wolves had a bit of quality in the attacking third, that could have easily been a point to Wolves. We were all mocking Man United for it the other week. That could have been us. Luckily, it wasn't, but we escaped through the skin of our teeth. Against Leeds, we were a marginal offside away from getting done by Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Leeds United. A marginal offside. Fulham, they had opportunities. Harry Wilson, I think it was Harry Wilson, hit the post. They had opportunities to win that game. They deserved, at the very least, a point. And they got a point through an insane worldie of a goal. But they deserved it. We were very, very lucky. And it's only so far that luck will take you before you are deservingly battered, played off the park, and destroyed. And I just fear that destruction will come on Thursday. I really, really do. They're going to try everything to rile up the atmosphere. They're going to try everything to upset Liverpool. And it's not going to take that much, to be fair, because this is not the Liverpool team of old. This is not the Liverpool team that was mentally strong, could face adversity and laugh in its face. This is a Liverpool team right now that the slightest, tiniest inconvenience occurs and we crumble. We crumble. We make a couple of bad passes in the game, our heads drop. We start feeling sorry for ourselves. We go, it's not going to be our day, is it? And it all stems. The players have taken some responsibility, yes, of course. But it stems all the way back to the root cause. And the root cause is the manager, who is not instilling confidence. He's not instilling any sort of run through brick walls for me mentality. It's a shambles. And again, I go back to the youngsters. I go back to Jurgen Klopp. Even when Liverpool were not playing well in the Jurgen Klopp era, it wasn't through a lack of effort. It wasn't through a lack of commitment. The players were still very much committed to the cause. The players didn't down tools for Jurgen Klopp. They just simply didn't have the legs to continue anymore. Fabinho and Henderson especially being the main culprits, their performances didn't decline because they were poor or they were bad or they were or they down toolsed or got overconfident or a little cocky or whatever it was. They dropped off simply for the reason that their legs had gone. They tried, but their legs had gone. These players' legs haven't gone. They're just tired and confused of being told to do things that they're not comfortable with doing. McAllister is not a player who can run up and down the pitch for 90 odd minutes and get into advanced positions out of everybody else in the team. Szoboszlai is not comfortable playing every position on the pitch, barring his own. Kirkez is not comfortable playing as an inverted fullback when his best attributes are that incredible left foot of his to be an outlet on that left-hand side. There's so many issues, so many things wrong with this side that all stem back to the manager. And again, the players take some responsibility, of course they do. But if it was just one or two individuals, I wouldn't be going in on the manager as much. I'd just be saying those one or two individuals are either lacking in confidence and self-belief, or they are just not good enough for this side. But it's not just one or two individuals. It's the entire squad. And I'm sick of saying it, and I'm sick of repeating myself every single time I do one of these videos. But it's the truth. It is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, in my opinion. Joel Kwanzaa went by Leverkusen. He certainly did. Killing it over there, I think, the last time I heard. Joel Kwanzaa didn't matter. Freddie Woodman was signed for home. Yes, of course, yes. I completely forgot about Freddie Woodman, to be fair. Again, so you get rid of Harvey Elliott, you get rid of Joel Kwanzaa, and you replace them for homegrown players with Freddie Woodman, our third choice goalkeeper, and of course, Jeremy Frimpong. So, yeah, you're right. This season has been very hit and miss for Liverpool. I mean, that's putting it mildly, bro, but yeah, I get it. You see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer returning, been a rumour for a while. Second chance for Solskjaer. Is he your Solskjaer? I expect Darren Fletcher to be in the interim for the FA Cup for them. It's an interesting one. I think, look, I hope that United continue to be in the mud for a long time, and I hope that whatever they try doesn't work out, obviously, from the perspective of a Liverpool fan. Here's what I will say to be fair, honest, and truthful about the United situation. United cannot, under any circumstances, fall in love with whatever interim manager they decide to go with from now until the end of the season. Because I think they're waiting for Glasner. I think that is what they're waiting for. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just appoint a proper manager right now? I think they could go and get Glasner right now. I think Glasner is very willing to jump ship right here and now. But at the same time, in saying that, you know, I guess in this one-off situation, United don't want to rush into anything, which is saying a lot considering, you know, what they've done in the past. But United fans can't fall in love with the interim manager stuff again. They really, really can't. Even if this interim manager somehow, some way manages to deliver them an FA Cup, they can't fall in love with that interim manager because they've been down that road multiple times. Louis van Gaal won them an FA Cup. They wanted him out. Jose Mourinho, even though these were permanent managers, won them the Europa League, the Carabao. Was it the Carabao or the FA Cup? I can't remember which one he won. I think it was the Carabao Cup, and they still wanted him out. Erik ten Hag in 2 seasons won them the Carabao and FA Cup. They can't fall in love with the interim manager no matter what happens and want him to stay. But it's United. It's what they do. They've done it before and they'll probably do it again. So they're going to go down the club legend route for an interim manager. It's going to unite the players for a little bit. They might pick up some results. The new manager bounce might help. But all you know with Man United is it's a ticking time bomb. It is a genuine, legitimate ticking time bomb as far as what Man United are concerned. And so even if it's going well, you know that it is one day away, one moment away from completely capitulating in front of your very eyes. So that's just my warning for Man United. Don't fall in love with the interim manager, no matter what he does between now and the end of the season. Don't fall in love with that, because you've been down that road before and it didn't end well. Just a word of warning. Just a word of warning. As far as who they get as the manager, I think it is going to be Glasner. I really, really do think it's going to be Glasner. I think they're being respectful to Crystal Palace, as well as probably stating that they're thinking about it. But I think they are sold on Glasner, in all honesty. I think it will be. I think it will be Glasner at the end of the season. When he leaves Crystal Palace, I think it will be Glasner. Because, let's face it, if they were to go to Crystal Palace right now, they'd probably have to pay Crystal Palace. And after paying out a lot already for expenses that they probably didn't need to actually go and do, they're probably now waiting to the end of the season where Glasner will leave Palace, be free to go wherever he wants following the expiring of his contract, and then they can make him their manager without having to pay Crystal Palace a penny. So I think that is probably what United are waiting for. I hope Man United stay in the mud. Class, your Liverpool fans side was show. Yeah, because here's the thing. Every time I talk about a rival club or any other club other than my own, look, I will always answer it and answer questions and answer certain things in two different ways. I will always answer it, as openly and as honestly as I can, removing or trying my best to remove my biases or whatever it may be. And the second one is I will answer it in through the eyes of a Liverpool fan. And sometimes that might be a bit of banter thrown in there, and sometimes that might be a bit of a narrow-minded tunnel vision comment. But I will always try and answer these kinds of things in those two ways. So yeah, there's a little bit thrown in there, but not too much. Many expect Oliver Glasner to leave. Oliver did join Crystal Palace in the middle of last season. He won the Europa League against Rangers when he was in the Bundesliga. Yes, Frankfurt, wasn't it? And it was a very good performance from Frankfurt. And, of course, then he went on to win the FA Cup with Crystal Palace last season. Done an excellent job with Crystal Palace over the couple of years that he's been there. He's been absolutely fantastic for Palace. And, of course, won them a Community Shield earlier on this season as well. So he's done absolutely amazing for Crystal Palace. And maybe he is ready in himself to take that next step. Past few weeks, that haven't been great for Palace. But as I've said in my Premier League predictions videos, the reason why I think Palace have fallen off a little bit these past few weeks is because I think their small squad is being run a little ragged by the amount of games that they've been playing. So I think it's a bit of that, to be honest. I think their small squad is not cut out for 2 games a week. And let's face it, since coming back from the November international break, it has been constant for Palace. They've been literally playing every other 3 or 4 days. Barely, I know a lot of teams have as well, but not a lot of teams have got that smaller squad of Palace that are doing that. Everybody else has got bigger squads. They've got more options for rotation. Palace have had basically game, few days off, game, few days off, game, few days off, game. There was one time where they even played 2 games in a matter of 48 hours. And I think they did heavily rotate for that. But, you know, I think if memory serves me correctly, the rotation game in the Europa Conference League had players that I don't think a lot of us are too familiar with. So there you have it. So answer the question, do you see Ollie taking over Mark Goldbridge at the end of the season? They never put Goldbridge in charge, and I don't think Goldbridge would take it, to be honest. He might do, actually, thinking about it. Would Goldbridge take the United job? I don't know. He wouldn't probably take it because he probably couldn't work with the Glazers and Ineos, so that's why he probably wouldn't take it. He'd be calling them prats and all sorts. See, I would have strongly suspected that they would have gone Michael Carrick. I would have strongly suspected that they would have gone Michael Carrick. To me, though, if they do go with Solskjaer, I think that pretty much states that it's not going to be something that they look at and go, this is going to be like this at the end of the season as well, and beyond the end of the season. But according to reports, he is the front runner. He is the front runner to be interim manager. I genuinely don't know. And I don't think Man United know either. I think they've dived headfirst into this, and they've not really had a plan in place. They've dived headfirst into this sacking of Ruben Amorim, and they've not got a plan after this. So for me, I'm looking at it from the outside looking in and going, United have basically just wrote off the end of their season. And realistically, all they need to do is to finish in the top 6. That's all United need to do. And with all the inconsistency teams that are happening around them, Liverpool not consistent, Chelsea not consistent, Spurs not consistent, Bournemouth obviously dropped way down, Sunderland still in amongst them, but you don't know whether or not that's going to be maintained or not. There's a lot of question marks surrounding those teams that are in and around them right now. And all they realistically need is top 6. Because I reckon their ownership, for right now, at least, would take Europa League as a bare minimum. I think they genuinely would. Oliver would win Crystal Palace Conference League. I think they've got a good chance to, if they can obviously get through. I think they've got a good opportunity. Jose win them the Europa League, League Cup, and FA Cup in one season. Zlatan. Did he win? He didn't win both domestic cups, did he? I don't. Did he? I only thought he won one of them with United. Or is my memory just that bad? Is my memory just that bad? No, it was the EFL Cup. He didn't win the FA Cup. He didn't win the FA Cup with Man United, bro. I just had to double check that because you made me second guess myself then. I was like, I knew it was one of them. I couldn't remember which one. But yeah, he won the Europa League, he won the League Cup, and he won the Community Shield. He didn't win the FA Cup. But yeah. Christian Eriksen say they don't appreciate the trophies there, etc. Only aim is winning the league and Champions League for them. Goes to show you they don't care as much in winning these trophies. Maybe the players or the fans. This is why, like, This is why people that are like Standards FC confuse me. Because if trophies are the be all and end all, then what does it matter what trophy? Why does it matter what trophy? Like, just win a trophy and be happy. Just win a trophy and be happy. Oh, I've forgotten Forest West Ham tonight, isn't it? Bottom of the table clash. Top 5 is the UCL now in England. 6 and 7 is the Europa League. Yeah, it depends though, doesn't it? Depends on obviously whether or not is it like what's it called? Contingency places? Is it continuous? No, not contingency. Whatever that word is, begins with a C. I can't remember the word for it, but it depends on whether or not England qualify to have 5 teams in the Champions League. We probably should do again. We've got enough teams in European competitions this year, and then obviously it depends on who wins certain competitions to get into certain things. But yeah, top 5 should be Champions League, 6 Europa League, depending on who wins the FA Cup, and 7 Europa League or Europa Conference League. Or if you're Crystal Palace, you go down to Europa Conference League because apparently your owner messed up big time. Just saying. Ollie seems like that friend who is always there for you, that type of way. They win the League Cup in 2017 against Southampton, not FA Cup with Jose. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like if you ever need him, call him kind of thing. But he's going to do an average job. He's going to do an average job no matter what. I just always have the mindset that you never go back. You never go backwards. I have the mindset that, you know, if you're a football manager, especially, you never go back to an old club. I think I've mentioned it on the stream on streams before. Never go back to an old club because it never works out, or it never works out long term anyway. Maybe short term again it does, but long term it never normally works out. I don't know, just my mindset to it. Just my mindset. Community Shield, that was their 3rd cup. Yeah, because they tried to shamelessly claim it was a treble, or at least Mourinho did. I think, if I remember correctly. Big up Jordan is in the building. Lovely to have you here, my bro. Guys, go and subscribe to Jordan's channel. Doing some awesome stuff over there. Doing some watch-alongs right now with AFCON currently going on. Go and subscribe to Jordan's channel, doing some amazing stuff. There'll be something for everybody over there, so go and show my brother some love and some support. I want to ask you a favor. Are you free tomorrow evening for a preview? I need a Liverpool fan. What time? What time tomorrow? That's important. I need to know what time. Because I might be able to do it, but I need to know the time. I need to know what time you're doing it. Fletch never go back to him. Yeah, exactly that, bro. Exactly that. Never go back. You never want to backtrack. Always look forward. Always move forward. That's if there's anything you can pick up from today's stream, apart from Arne slots a bold fraud. It is never look back, always look forward. There we go. There we go. Words of hopefully wisdom for you to take with you today. Take care, Fletch. We was good to talk for almost an hour. Big up to you, bro. Thank you for being here and thank you for being involved in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Love talking football with you, my bro. Always posing some really good thoughts and some questions in there as well. So big up to you, Ballum. Take care of yourself, and I hope you have a good night, my friend. You have a good night indeed. So yes, civil war at Liverpool. I don't think we've heard the last of these kinds of stories, admittedly. And now we look ahead to Arsenal on Thursday. I'm worried, guys. I am really, really worried. I'm really worried about Thursday. 3 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. UK time. I'm not going to be able to do it, bro. If it was somewhat earlier, I could do it, but I'm not going to be able to do 8 p.m. I'm afraid. Sorry, my bro. I'm at work tomorrow night. Big up Nems is in the building. Glad to have you here, my friend. I can let you tomorrow. I can't do 8 p.m. I'm afraid, bro. Sorry, my dude. So yeah, Arsenal Thursday. Liverpool taking on Arsenal. I'm worried. I'm worried. I've never got into a game this worried before. Never got into a game this worried. Like I've gone into games where I've said, I don't think Liverpool will win. But at the same time, this game is where I draw the line. Because Arsenal have just got so many ways that they can beat us, man. Arsenal have just got so many ways that they can beat us. Open play, they can rip us apart. Open play, they can rip us apart. They've scored 7 goals in the last 2 games. We've been poor. We've been getting away with it only just by luck, by the skin of our teeth. We've been very poor, and Arsenal can rip us apart from open play. Arsenal can also dominate us from set pieces. Set pieces are going to terrify me. I was tempted to captain Gabriel in my in my fantasy team this week because of that. So yes, worried, very worried, and even defensively, we play so poor, we are so slow that Arsenal are going to have no issue whatsoever in neutralising us. I'm worried, guys. I really, really am. If anybody out there can try and fill me with any type of confidence going forward into this game, if someone can give me a reason why there is a possibility we get at the very least something from the game on Thursday, please drop it in the chat. Drop it right now in the chat and tell me why. Because I don't know how we get through this game unscathed. I really, really don't. I would take a draw. I'd snap your hand off at a draw. Snap your hand off at a draw. But even then, that worries me. I look at this and I go, Arsenal are going to have a field day. Their fans are confident. Their players are confident. And the contrast in confidence, not just from the fan base, but from their squad, from their starting 11, from the subs, manager, coaches, whoever. They are going to feast on Thursday. They are going to feast on Thursday. I Really, really don't want to watch it on Thursday. Is there something else on Thursday? Is there something else that we can watch? Do we have to watch this? Do we have to watch Liverpool absolutely embarrass themselves? Ugh. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm really not looking forward to it. Cooking with the streams like Ekatike. Continue on that grind, man. Appreciate you being here, though. I hope you're doing well. Congratulations on 1K. Thank you, my bro. Appreciate it, man. Big up to each and every single one of you that has subscribed so far. The journey continues. Obviously, continue to hit the like button and continue to subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and probably greatly appreciated. Appreciate each and every single one of you for being here with us right here, right now. And of course, throughout this journey so far, and hopefully long may it continue. Absolute pleasure and incredible to be talking football with you all. Okay, yeah, sorry, bro. Like I say, evenings are a little bit hit and miss for me, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully we'll link up soon, bro. Hopefully we can link up soon, and hopefully there'll be positive things for us to talk about, because I imagine like it's not going to be a stream in which we're going to be ultra positive about Liverpool, to be honest with you, if we were to do that tomorrow. But no, I hope it goes well, and I'll certainly be watching, my bro, when it eventually goes up. So yeah, I look forward to that, my friend. So last one before we get out of here. Thursday night, Arsenal taking on Liverpool. I've already said how I think the game will go. I don't really see it being in Liverpool's favour at all. I actually am worried for Liverpool a lot. Like I say, I think there are a number of ways that Arsenal can rip us apart. I think it's going to be interesting to see who starts up front for Arsenal. Does he continue and try and get Gyökeres into some form? Does he maybe go back to tried and tested and somewhat reliable Mikel Merino up front? It's going to be interesting from an Arsenal perspective as to what Mikel Arteta goes for. But you would imagine Saka's back in the starting lineup. Madueke, who actually had a fairly okay game when these two teams met on the third game of the season. He could potentially be on that left-hand side and try his luck against either Conor Bradley or Jeremy Frimpong, which is going to be interesting to see which one Liverpool go with in that position, or whether or not Frimpong's going to be the right winger. Knowing Arne's slot, he's probably going to go Frimpong right wing. Don't know why, but there we have it. But yeah, I just see Arsenal being too strong defensively. I feel like the midfield is going to be a tough battle, but even though we pack about 5 midfielders in there, I feel like Arsenal will be able to use the wings to their advantage to stretch Liverpool, force the players out wide where they don't really want to be, where they're kind of uncomfortable in being, and take it from there, really. And like I say, even if they're not exactly firing on all cylinders from open play, they have set pieces to fall back on, and Liverpool are the worst side from set pieces, whether it's attacking from them or whether it's defending them. Liverpool and set pieces, simply put, do not go hand in hand, especially in the Premier League, at least anyway. So Arsenal will have that to fall back on if, of course, their open play is not quite firing, and it's going to be a painful night for Liverpool in that regard. I don't see us getting anything out of this game. I don't see us... And I hate to say it as well. I hate to say it, and I'm not saying it in the hope that obviously, you know, Liverpool lose. I never want Liverpool to lose, no matter how I feel about the manager or anything like that. But it is a worry with the form Arsenal are in, with obviously the bit between their teeth, that they are going to get a big win. A big win over Liverpool on Thursday. And as I mentioned in my Premier League predictions video as well, it's going to, if it does happen, it'll be a massive win for Arsenal, because it could potentially be a win that sees them pretty much wrap up the Premier League title. Not mathematically, of course. Still a long way to go before mathematically that is possible. But realistically, I think if Arsenal win on Thursday, but if they go into that game knowing that City have dropped more points against Brighton, which, let's face it, is entirely possible. If that occurs, if that happens, Arsenal win the title on Thursday. Arsenal win the title on Thursday if that scenario plays out. It's not inconceivable to deny that City dropping points to Brighton could be a possibility. But at the same time, in saying that, if Arsenal know that going into the game on Thursday, it will rile them up even more. It will rile the crowd up even more. It will be even more hostile, and they will sense blood and go for the kill. And that's when Arsenal make a statement. That's when Arsenal lay down the proper gauntlet. And that's where they pull apart from the rest of the group. That's where they go head and shoulders, even more so than what they go into this week of fixtures in. They pull apart even more. They go ahead even more. And no one's catching them from that point. No one is catching them from that point. No one is catching Arsenal. Let me just make sure I've got this correct. So there's a 6-point gap going into this round of fixtures between Arsenal and Man City. If City drop points and they lose, Arsenal can stretch their lead over City to 9. Obviously, Aston Villa also on the same amount of points as City, so it could still be a 6-point gap, but are we really taking Aston Villa's title charge seriously? Are we really taking it seriously? I would love to take it seriously. I would have loved to, but I just don't see it right now. I just don't see it. 6 points gap. It could, if City drop points and they draw, it'll obviously go down to 5. But then if Arsenal win, 8 points. 8 points of a gap between Arsenal and Man City could be very possible by the end of match day 21. And that, for me, even though we have seen Arsenal bottle that kind of lead before, I think this time around, this Arsenal team are reinforced mentally, physically, and squad depthly to handle the pressure, the obstacles, the barriers that are going to be put in front of them between that point on and the end of the season. And that's why Arsenal, whether we like it or not, are probably going to be the Premier League champions come the end of the season. So if you're not with that already, if you're unhappy by that, if you are going to be upset by that, you've got a while yet before it's probably mathematically confirmed. But I would probably say start getting used to it, because this might be the year that Mikel Arteta and Arsenal finally do it. And like I say, I believe that this week is going to be the big week in which It's not going to be like they believe that they can win it, because I already think that the belief is there for them to win it this year. But I think this will be a big week in which the statement's laid down and it's Arsenal's to lose. Completely Arsenal's to lose. But I don't think they will. I think this is the year they do it. And yeah, that's going to hurt a lot of people. And for me especially, like, I see a lot of Arsenal fans, and most of them are good guys. Most of them are good guys. Most of them are realistic. Most of them you can talk football with, and they're smart, and they're actually, you know, realistic, and they're not as deluded as other Arsenal fans. But then you get the minority that are deluded. And if you think the minority that are deluded are loud now, without Arsenal winning any kind of silverware in the past 5 years, other than an FA Cup, imagine what they're going to be like when they get that Premier League title under Mikel Arteta. If you thought they were going to be loud and deluded before they won that Premier League title, imagine what they're going to be like once that title is secure and once that Premier League trophy is well and truly in their trophy cabinet. Buckle up, people. Accept it for what it is. I hope that obviously Arsenal bottle it. I hope I'm back here at the end of the season and it's like, Arsenal have bottled it and Aston Villa have won it. If Man City wins it, who cares? But if it's going to be Aston Villa, then even better, because it definitely ain't going to be Liverpool. So it might as well be an ultimate underdog story. But yeah, I'm just saying, enjoy it while it lasts. Accept it for what it is. And if you can't accept it for what it is, I'd suggest maybe staying off social media for a while. Stay off YouTube, stay off social media. Just peace. Enjoy going outside. Enjoy fresh air and all of that stuff. Just enjoy it for what it is. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. This stream has seemingly ran its course. But yes, obviously, big things talked about on this channel. Talking about the civil war of sorts that is seemingly brewing underneath the surface at Liverpool Football Club. We've talked a little bit about the upcoming game between Liverpool and Arsenal on Thursday. Big up to each and every single one of you for being here. Do me a massive favor and smash the like button and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, leave your thoughts and comments and opinions and predictions and feelings and whatever else you want to call it down below in what would be now the comment section on the replay. Please do get involved, people. Would love to hear what you have to say, whether it's about anything that I've talked about in this video or whether it is anything that you want to discuss for future videos or live streams to come. Really do appreciate each and every single one of you for being here and showing some love and support to the channel. As always, I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks live stream. I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.